All right, let's talk guilty pleasures. This is going to be, I'm calling this the horror sequel guilty pleasure. So, as you know, a lot of these horror movie franchises typically come with really bad sequels. So, there's a few that I have that I like highly enjoy. It's kind of like it's so bad it's good, but it has some redeeming qualities, even though the film as a whole is really bad. So here's a few of mine. First off, I'll start with my number one. It's Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers. Actually, you can see it in the back. I went to a horror convention at the Hard Rock Casino, and then the guy who was the stunt double, he was the stunt double for the Michael Myers character. So I was promoted that he played Michael Myers, but after some research, I found out he just was just a stunt double. But he wore the Michael Myers costume, anyways. And he was a stunt double in the film industry for a while. Really nice guy. So I bought the poster from him. He signed it, and all that good shit. So now I have the unrated producer's cut, which is so weird that they call it unrated when the original theatrical cut is the more gory, brutal one. Now the story is very all over the place. By the ending, you have no idea what the fuck happened. I used to own that on, I think I had it on VHS because I remember watching it. And I always thought this was definitely like one of the creepier sequels. The Halloween theme is throughout the film, which much better than the David Gordon Green Halloween 2018. They had a lot of atmosphere issues in that film, even though I do enjoy it in its own right. And so the atmosphere throughout this, very creepy, very dark. I think this is the scariest Michael Myers has looked in compared to most of the films. Probably compared to, I would say, the first and the second. Rob Zombie did make him look pretty creepy too, made him humongous. But here, so I gotta give props for props is due. The story makes a lot more sense in the producer's cut. But it is kind of weird what they kind of. This was the first sequel where they did weird things with Michael Myers. Like obviously, you look at Resurrection, you look at Halloween Ends, and you're like, dude, what are you guys doing to Michael Myers here? This one they kind of make it where he's like a rapist in a PDF file. If you know that he basically assaulted his underage niece to have a baby, and he's trying to, and he's part of a satanic cult and the Thorn and all this shit. So, yeah, it's a wild story. But to me, I just like the atmosphere. And Paul Rudd as Tommy Doyle, I'm in the minority. I actually think him playing that role as a real demented, obsessed creep makes sense to me. I know the original. I heard like an interview from the original screenwriter, and he said when he saw the film, there was so much in his script that they changed. So no telling what originally was this film was supposed to be pitched to be. So, anyways, every Halloween I watch this. So on top of with usually of all the Halloween movies during the spooky season, I'll watch this, the original, and Halloween 4. Those are my favorites in that franchise. All right, second, hot take. Well, I don't know if this is a hot take, but guilty pleasure. It's in the Leprechaun franchise. This one's a tough one. I would have to go with, obviously, the original. Even the the original. There's so much cringe in this franchise, but I'm all here for it. The original won't count because that's not the sequel. That's the original. So I go with Leprechaun 3 where he's in Las Vegas. Fucking love that shit. But I also have to go with Leprechaun in the Hood because you got Ice-T in it, and it's just strikingly entertaining. If I'm in the mood, Leprechaun in Space, it can be a guilty pleasure because it just gets batshit crazy, and it's just absolutely a terrible movie. But it has its entertaining factor. Okay, here's my last one, and the Cult of Chucky. Uh, I hear so many people, so many critics who say this film was like absolutely like terrible. I don't know. I kind of like it because you're getting a bunch of different Chuckies. I think the comedy there is pretty rich. Um, I don't know. I thought it was entertaining. I find it entertaining. Uh, I personally feel the best of the Chuckies are going to be the first three. And then Bride of Chucky, I put that in that category because I think you kind of Bride of Chucky revived, or at least it gave the Child's Play franchise, you know, an ability to move forward because we had to get past the Andy thing, the him and the kid and trying to transfer his soul and all that stuff. Um, so I do feel like given so we throw in Tiffany, uh, and then but then later down the film you have Andy as an adult, and I like what they kind of did with that. So you did bring back the Andy character as an adult, and so but it's a whole different ordeal because it's Andy trying to get revenge on Chucky for how much he fucked up his life. So damn, trust me, there